Thanks for joining us today. Really appreciate it. My name is Jeff Hahn, and I am the Director of Sales for Social Explorer. And just to let you know a couple of things before we start. One is if you have any questions at all, if you send your questions to support@socialexplorer.com, someone will get back to you right away. I see those. Our sales support team sees those. So really almost everyone in the company who touches customers sees support. So if you send that to us, we get back to you right away. And today I'm going to walk you through the product, show you how it works. But if you want more in-depth training for your library staff, you can reach out to me anytime and reach out to me at support@socialexplorer.com. Reach out anytime. We can set up specifics just for your school or for your public library. If you want, we can work with instructors, we can work with patrons. So whatever you'd like to do, we're happy to train and do presentations. Also, just as an aside to let you know, we're going to focus a little bit on both academic and public libraries today. It's a research tool, it's a classroom critical thinking tool, but it also supports small business and small business development and helping people who are interested in putting together uh, demographic driven reports out of the public library. It supports that also. If you're a public library, you can use the tool yourself. I mean, there are tools like this available from Gale and other places that provide you sort of an overview of your community in a way that can help you with programming and services within your community as well. So I encourage you, if you're a public library, to look at the product as something that can support your efforts at the library as well, just not for patrons, but for you as well. So, for example, um, you have a branch in a certain part of town and you want to look at the demographics of that part of town to get an understanding of what the community might be interested in. It's an excellent tool for that. Let's see, is there something in the chat? No, I think we're okay. I think we're in a good shape. So I'll move on right now and walk you through the product. So give me 1 second. So here is Social Explorer. When you first enter the product, you will see your library name up here to show that it's your iteration of the product. And this is what it looks like when you first enter. So you can either dig in through Explore Maps, and I'll show you what that looks like in a second, or you can download tabular data as well through tables. But I'll start with Explore Maps. So if I go and click Explore, this takes me to an overview of the United States, and it takes me to a population density map of the United States. So from here, if I'm interested in population density, I can zoom in with my mouse and cursor. And as I zoom in, you can see that the geography levels change as well. So here I'm at the state level. As I zoom in, it goes to the county level. If I keep zooming in on North Carolina, it will go to the census tract level. And these are all the geography levels that are available for this piece of data from the American Community Survey. You can also set the geography level that you're interested in right here. And you can set the kind of map you want to look at here as well. Shaded area
Not
or
all that
bubble or
census
dot
data is
density.
available though, right? For every area.
Oh, so say that again, please.
I said, is not all of that data is available for every geographic area, though, correct?
I think most of it is. So if
Okay.
I go to, um, let me go, I'll come out here to the data dictionary.
Can you
So
try
if I
some
go to the,
really rural area? Because I remember having trouble finding some of mine.
so it depends on where the source is from and
Oh,
so what level it goes down to. But if you're looking at American Community Survey data and census data, most of that should be there for every level available. So that should be there for you.
okay.
So if I go, see, I'll go back here to North, and I'm going to go to North Carolina. So what I'm able to do is mask areas by clicking on them. So if I click on North Carolina, now all I'm looking at is North Carolina. Everything else is masked around it. So if I go down, let's see, if here I'm looking at population density, I can go down to, um, if I go down to the census tract level, it appears that all of the information is available. Now, see, I'm looking here, and you need to get an understanding of what's going on right here at this level, that there's nothing. I don't know if this is a state forest or whatever this might be, not to have it at the census level. So if I go in here, and I'm looking at 2021 data, 2022 data sets, it's set to 2021 because that's the last year that we have right now, the American Community Survey 5 year estimate. So that's why it's set here, but you can go to 2022, 2023. Also, you can look at all years that data is available for. We go all the way back to the first census in 1790. And it shows you everything that's available for that year you've selected as well. So if I wanted to look at, say, um, marital status, I can look at population 15 years or over that are married, that are separated, that are widowed, or that are divorced, whatever is in the ACS, all of that data is here as well. So if I wanted 15 years and over, never married, that's what I'm looking at here by census tract. I can look at it by county. So if I'm doing research on that, if I'm uh, taking a sociology course, or if I'm writing a report, if I'm a researcher, all of that data is here. It can be pulled out of the product this way. What you're also able to do with the product is build stories and build maps and save them. And that's a very important part of the product. So um, I encourage people that use the product to go in and create an account. If I go back and show you the LibGuide that goes with the product, it's a very detailed LibGuide that you can port into your own LibGuides and post it, or you can link right to it. But here, it has information on um, how to set up your own account as a student or an instructor or university staff. So that's listed right here in the LibGuide. And we encourage people to create an account so that they can save their work. Without the account, they can't save their work. So here, if I go in, I want to explore, and I want to build a map focused on North Carolina. I'm going to mask and keep North Carolina available. And let's say I want to look at age. I want to look at the population that is more than 65 years of age, because I'm doing a report or a project in my aging course in social and psych. So now I'm looking at the county level, total population, more than 65 years of age. And you can see population's much younger around Raleigh, seems a little older around Wilmington. But you can also go in and look at this at the census tract level if you wanted to get more granular. But let's say I want to save this map and I want to write something about this map and share it with other people. I can save this as and save that map. Now, when I go to my projects, I have an account and I've saved this map, aging over 65 North Carolina. And I can call it up. But also, what I can do with it is I can share it. So I'm able to share this link. I can copy this link, then I put it in my browser. It takes me right to that map that I've created. But also, I can share this with anyone, even if they don't have an account. Anyone can view it and interact with it like I am right now. They don't have to have an account to do that. They can interact with it. Also, they could collaborate. So if students or people building a small business application at a library are working together, they can share this with a collaborator, someone else who has an account, set that up here and invite them to work on this map also. You can embed this map. So if I wanted, as an instructor, to build a little activity around aging, I could take this map, embed it into my LMS, write a couple of little questions around it, and I can then have that in my LMS as a learning object for my students to interact with. So it easily embeds into an LMS using this embed code. I can also um, build a story around this if I wanted to. So here again, I'm looking at total population, more than 65 years of age that live in North Carolina. It's part of a project I'm doing. I can go in and I can build a story by clicking. Oh, let's see, I got to go back to, give me 1 second. Here I am, I'm back to my account. I was looking at the one that I sent to myself, but I can go in here now and tell a story about it. So a story is like a series of PowerPoint slides, but they're all interactive. So I could add a cover to this if I wanted to. I can then click this little icon here, edit that slide. I could call it slide 1, population over 65 years of age. And then I could put a description in here. Oh, I keep doing that. Sorry about that. So I can then build out other slides if I want. So I could copy this slide if I want to. Now I have two slides. I can go here. I can change the data. Maybe I want to do uh, that was age. Maybe I want to do income and compare that to age as well. And people that say make less than $50,000 a year. That could be my second slide. And so what I'm doing is I'm building a little set of interactive slides. I can build a PowerPoint, like a PowerPoint presentation of these interactivities. I can save them. And so once I save these, again, like saving a map, I can save this and then share it with other people as well. So if I click save, if I go back to my projects, under stories, I have the little story I just built about aging in North Carolina. I have this story. I can share it with anyone. I can embed it anywhere. So the students not only get, and the library patrons don't just get access to being able to build maps, but they can save their maps, interact with others with those maps, and then they can also build stories, which are a series of maps that tell a story. And that's really a nice feature of the product is the ability to not only just interact and get understanding about data, but to be able to build stories and save them.
I have a very quick,
Oh,
simple
please, yeah, jump
question.
right in.
So I was, following along on mine, and got into my county and, picked something, population, oh, income. So I've got the income stuff, but when I want to go back to change it to a different category, I clicked on categories, but it doesn't. Oh, never mind. I guess there's a back arrow that I missed. Never mind.
Even better. It's great though. I'm glad you're playing around with it while I'm doing this because I think it shows that it's relatively intuitive to work with this. It's of all the GIS programs that are out there, this one's sort of GIS with training wheels for the students. It has the data built in, which is nice as well. And it's pretty easy to work with. Was it intuitive for you to work with it?
Yeah, I showed it to a class and there's just a lot to it, which is great, but like kind of remembering where you are um is a little confusing. I'm just gonna have to play with around with it more.
Sure. And again, if you need any in-depth training, you can always reach out anytime. We're happy to help and we're happy to work with your students as well. We go to we drop in on classes and do training all the time. And it's something we enjoy doing. So I have a team of people that do that, or I do that myself. What else you can do is easily look at change over time. So here we're looking at population density. I'll change it to race, and I'll look at see here. So I'm looking at let's see total. Let's see, change the data here. 'Cause, 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 There we go. So here I'm looking at total population, Hispanic and Latino. I'm looking at that by county. If I wanted to look at change over time, I can easily go in, I can click right here. It's going to show me over the past 5 years, change over time of the Latino population by county in North Carolina. And it shows you the percent change. So it's very interesting. If you look here, where it's dark blue, it's significantly higher change in population of Hispanics and Latinos. And again, we can go down to the census tract level as well and look at that. You can also go in, if you wanted to, and look at past 10 years, change over time. That's what I'm looking at. This is change over time over the last 10 years.
When you clicked on auto adjust, what is that?
So I click on auto adjust to adjust the colors within the map. Uh,
Oh, okay, I see.
yep, so that's what happened when I click auto adjust. It'll just fine tune it a little better for you.
And if one of the data sources say is like 2013 EST, that means it was an estimate from 2013, so it's older data. Is that
Correct. Where are
okay?
you looking?
Just like it's persons without insurance under the
Okay.
health insurance under health. And when I went back to 2013, it said 2010 estimate. So as long as I understand what that means, then that's fine. But
Yes. Yes, you were looking at 2013 data.
and that said 2010. And then I looked at 2021 data and it said 2013 estimate.
Let's see here. I'm looking at 20, let's look at 2022 health data. So if I'm looking at physically unhealthy days per month,
Then that's current. But like if you go down under health insurance, then it looks like that's a older data.
yes, that is older data.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. But that's what's nice, if it really works well with social science courses, but also public health. There's quite a bit of health data in here as well that we keep up. Also, crime and criminology. There's quite a bit of uh, criminology data as well. So if I go to 2021, there's violent crime data, property crime data as well, significant amount of health data. And so, uh, these are all the categories. So if you go in, we can go back to the first census, which is actually pretty relevant for North Carolina, which is nice. Many times people I deal with, it's not of interest because they weren't involved in 1790. But if I look at population, I can look at total population by county of North Carolina, 1790. So it's great for history courses as well as social science courses, especially with North Carolina data going back so far. Let me go back to here. So also, you have the ability to download any of the data that's within the system. So if I go to tables, If I go to the American Community Survey, let's see here. I can click, I'm interested in county data within the state of North Carolina. I can select all counties. And then I can port out any of the data that I'm interested in. So here I'm looking at the aging data for each county, looking at all the more than estimates. And all of this data for each county can then be ported out as Excel or CSV or a PDF document. You can also share that document information with people from here as well. So if I wanted to, I could download an Excel file of it. So you're able to download all of the data within the system. And if you wanted to, you could port it into another program or just use it outside of the system. So if I go to my downloads, this is what I just downloaded. And there's the data. So all of the data within the system can be downloaded easily and used in other programs. So you have the ability to explore by maps. You have the ability to download the data sets as well. There's also something we call teach and learn, which are activities that we've pre-built. So we pre-built these activities in these disciplines. So if you wanted to go to marriage and family, you can map the changes in American families. We've built this little activity using the tool set that comes with the program. And so these are pre-built activities. A lot of people use these as examples of how to use the system, and then the students go on their own and pre-built an activity or build their own activities. But we have about 175 pre-built activities within the system. We also have training modules that we've built to help the students learn how to use the program. There's also something we call data snacks, which are just single topic presentations of things in the news or data activity that a student can use. Here we're looking at median household income projected for 2025. And again, they give the student or the patron an idea of how the program works and how they could use it themselves. Also, there's something called demographic profiles, where you can go in and type in a zip code or a county or a town. Let's see. Raleigh City, North Carolina, I'll say. And so what it does is it automatically gives you all of this demographic, education, economic, household, housing data for the area that you put in. So Raleigh City, North Carolina, population, median age, sex, race, ethnicity, foreign born, education attainment, language spoken, income. So that's another tool that's built into the system that if students want to do get a quick understanding of a certain area, they can type it into here, into this profile section, and call it up instantly and get all of that information. Also, all of the data within the data dictionary is listed here as well. And if you're, say, building a map, if you wanted to get an understanding of what you're looking at, you can click more info right here. This will take you to the data dictionary that I just showed you. You're looking at the ACS 2021 5-year estimate. Tells you all about what you're looking at. Also from here, you can cite this. So if you save this map, you embedded it into an report, you wanted to cite it as well, click citation, and it gives you the Chicago Manual of Style citation, but also MLA and APA. And you can easily copy that citation and put it into your report. And there's a link to the map as well within that citation. And that's a new tool that we built. People seem to like it, being able to cite the data that they're using. Also, if you're interested in all of the compliance information is right here. We are highly compliant. We do all kinds of compliance, all types of programs like this where there is some visual nature to the maps. We get very high marks in terms of VPAT and our compliance. And all the VPAT data, all the compliance data is listed here as well. There's also a detailed help section, how to use maps, how to use the reporting feature. There's all kinds of guides and videos. You can search for questions here as well. And if you don't find what you're looking for here, again, support at Social Explorer works very well to reach us, and we answer you right away with that as well. So students and patrons have the ability to build their own map. They can build stories as well. They can save everything to their own account. There's tools to show them how to build their own accounts. They can share these. They can share them with other students. They can share them with faculty. Faculty can build activities, put them into their learning management system. Students can then interact with them. They look great within any LMS. And with that, I'll open it up now and see if people have any questions for me about the product. Anyone want to jump in? Anything at all?
Any questions, y'all?
So I
Was
think
this
I've
helpful for understanding the product? Anyone want to jump in?
Tina, did you say something?
I did, but I think I figured it out.
Okay.
I
We
mean,
have a-
one thing that just kind of gets me confused is when I pick a new data set and trying to get the new one to show up on the map because it doesn't look like it changes. What do you have to like click it to get it to change the new?
Yeah, I'm not quite sure what you're saying. Let's see here. If I go here,
So if I picked a
um,
data element in a
mhm.
county and then I go and I pick a different element for the same county, it doesn't look like it changes. Do you have to go click the map to change?
Let's see here. No, not usually. Let me see what we got here. So I'll just go into North Carolina. And here I am at the county level, and I'm looking at population density. If I
Okay.
want to change the data, if I want to look at total population female, it seemed to change right away.
But if you go back and like go to change data and then pick like a new category or a
So
year,
here, you got to go back with the arrow.
right?
Then I'll change race. I'll look at Black and African American alone. And when I select it, it did
Did
change that.
okay. I don't know what I did. Okay, thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. Any other question?
We have one question. What's geodata?
Okay, so geodata is the ability to add your own point data to the map. So if you were a public library and you wanted to put down um, points of interest that would be maybe your various libraries within your system, you could upload point data into the system and it will show that point data within the system.
You can also upload patron data. So if you wanted to look at
Yes,
library card signups based on
yes,
different areas in your county.
yes,
So one thing with that is this data can then inform your next strategic plan or
yes.
certain, reporting data analysis practices that you have in your library. Um, So that's what the geodata is. We have a question from Liza. Is there a way to do comparison reports, say, between two counties? Yes, there is.
Yes, you could do comparison reports between two counties. One of the best ways to do it is, let me show you how that works. So that's a great question. So I can go in here, let me go in and just look at North Carolina. So here I'm looking at just North Carolina. I can go in, as I go down, I'm at the county level now. I could do a comparison between counties by doing a side-by-side map. I did not show that. I'm glad that was brought up. So here I'm looking at a side-by-side map, and you could look at um, one county on the left and another county on the right as a comparison and do a comparison that way. You can also do a swipe map of data. So I could change data sets. So here I'm looking on the left, population density. Maybe on the right, I wanted to change that data to age, more than 65. So now on the left, I have one set of data, which is total population. And on the right, I have population older than 65. And I can go back and forth and swipe on this map and see the difference. And I can also see the difference within the contextual menu that pops up. So those are two different ways to do comparisons. And somebody asked, it's mostly US data. That is correct.
So I thought I'd share this with everyone. This is really cool. When you look at the census data for my area from 1790, 1800, and 1810, you can actually see the encroachment of the population on native lands.
Oh, interesting. Yes.
Yeah. I mean, not that that's a good thing, but you can actually see
No,
first it
but it's
starts
good.
with Buncombe County and Asheville, and then it keeps going west. But before a certain date, it's just says Indian lands, no census. That's very interesting.
Yes,
Yeah, and
that's a really
that's
good point.
way more detailed than you might see the typical census maps in Heritage Quest, or some of the other genealogy resources out there. Because you're working with like a little bit more of a map of visualization that's available to you.
Yeah, and then you can choose your location. It asks you. And now I have a little blinky dot exactly where I am so I can see. I mean, this is really, really cool.
Oh, that's great. Thank you for that feedback.
Yeah, I can definitely repeat what I mentioned about library card data. So you can upload geodata to the platform and then it'll be saved in your account. So you can upload all your library card signups in your county or in your patron population that you serve, if you're a municipal library. And then you're able to add that point data to a map and look in your county and see, oh, this area of the county has a lot of library card signups. This area doesn't. Why is that? And then like you can layer it with other data, like looking at Spanish speaking population or certain things like that. Is there a special format that needs to be used for uploading the geo data? Jeff, is there?
No, you can, it's latitude or longitude works or addresses work as
Okay.
well. And, I would just recommend when if you're interested in doing that and start doing that, reach out to me and I can look at your data and help you with that as well and get that loaded in for you and help you with it. We'd love to help you with it.
Yeah, I think that's one of the key things as well as how accessible Social Explorer is and how the support email is always a great way to get in touch with your team, Jeff.
Yes,
You can even look at slave status.
yes,
This
Yeah,
is
it's
like the history stuff in here is amazing.
yeah.
yes. And we're really the only product out there that has all of
Mhm.
that census data going back to 1790. I'm just going to add this. This will give you an idea of, I just added hospitals
Mhm.
that we have a layer just called hospitals. And so you would be able to add your point data. It would look like there'd be points like this. You'd be able to see where your population is within your library system. Any other questions?